What's up, guys? Whoa. Music started. Sorry, it's really loud for me. What's with that? Alright. We are doing our night stream. And earlier this morning, during our morning stream, we worked on painting our boy Anton's eyes and a few other things along with that. But if that's something that interests you, some eye painting stuff, you can check out that video. It's up on my YouTube channel. And for this one, I'm going to try to work on the hair and try to make it look a little bit more scraggly, try to make it look a little less clean, and try to get some nicer curves in there altogether. So that's what we're going to be working on for this stream. And if I can change that. I'll also open up my chat window so I can hang out and see what you guys are actually saying. It'd be nice. Alright. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. So I've been thinking about this hair. Thinking about this hairy hair quite a bit. Trying to figure out what I want to do with it. So from some previous renditions, I've tried to kind of stagger these a little bit better. And just with the nature of these hair tubes, you know, you get a really uniform look a lot of the time if I kept this really clean. So I want to try to break up a lot of that, if possible. I'm going to try to do a better job here and see what we can come up with. So I'm going to be using my curved tubes brush to attempt to add some more hair in here, break up the flow a little bit, and just play with moving some of these around maybe a little bit more and making it look a little bit better. We'll be looking at the beard and the back of the head. We've played with colors as well. We're going to continue to do some of that. But if you guys got any questions about what I'm doing, or anything that you see on here, or anything that you think I might be able to answer, feel free to shout it out in the chat, and I will try to answer some questions to the best of my ability. No promises, though. So I'm going to be using the ZModeler brush along with this curved tube brush to do some creasing. And then I'm just going to use my move brush to modify the strokes that I apply to the surface. And I don't like the curve that I'm getting right now, so try to thicken that up a little bit for future curves. But on this one we can just adjust it a little bit with the move brush. So some little S-curves, like the one I just added. Maybe make that a little bit stronger towards the top. Try to play with some of this stuff as well. Just trying to get some layers. Get some, I wouldn't call it cross-hatching necessarily, but some that aren't going all the exact same direction. It makes it look really not good. So thinking about how we can adjust some of these so that they're not all going the same direction. And that's kind of what you get for creating the hair the way I did. The MAG hair brushes, which I did a tutorial on here recently. If you guys want to check that out, it's up on my channel. just a quick and easy way to create hair, and I believe that's what the tutorial is called. But with that, you know, you get the downside of a lot of uniformity. And there are some things that you can do to attempt to get rid of that, but when you get a lot of strokes going the same way, it starts to look really fake. And that's something we want to try to do a little bit better job of improving right now. So again, down here you see a lot of that as well. I'm just using my move brush, trying to adjust some of this stuff. I used some of these strokes to create a little bit of layering to hide the gaps that we got going on here. But we can try to do a little bit better job of that as well once we start adjusting some of these strokes. And play with some of this layering. It's going on both sides, unfortunately. And these are now asymmetrical enough to where I can't really modify one side and mirror it over. I think the main thing that's going to really help us out though as we work here is getting some of these smaller strokes on here to really start to add to that scraggly look, if we can. Starting to break that up a little bit better. Some of this we can try to do as well. Try to add a couple strokes on top here and see what we can do. Kind of tried to level, or not level, but layer these a little bit, so longest strokes underneath and then kind of layer up. As I go up, they get shorter. So if we want to tuck some up under and in here, we'll have to tuck them up towards the top so that we can keep that layered effect going on there. So we'll try to do that. When you're using a curve brush, if I turn on polyframe here and step back, when I first applied that, just because of the surrounding geometry, you can see how twisted that is. And I just gave that a little bit of a tug on the end of the curve, and it helps to straighten that out. So you can see there that it's starting to curve a little bit, but another tug and it straightens out for us. So just a little trick there that I use when my geometry is not cooperating. So we can try to use our move brush and tuck this up under some layers here this work a little bit better. D1, what's going on, man? Glad to have you with us. It's been a minute. Messing with a lot of hair right now on our Anton boy here. Trying to get rid of the not really symmetry that's going on here, but really the same flow that all this hair shares. So we can break that up. I think it's going to be really helpful to the overall look of this character. I want to get this hair to a more finished level tonight. Trying some tube workflows for hair with some success. I don't know if you mean hair tube or YouTube, but either way, awesome. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I think creating some stylized hair with tubes. Most of the time, I honestly shouldn't have done it for this. I don't think. I think I kind of regret going this route, but we're kind of pretty far down the rabbit hole now, so I say we keep working on it. But tube hair or this kind of structure, I think we can make it work if we play with it for a lot longer. But it tends to work better in larger chunks, and then working from larger to smaller shapes that way. Similar with sculpting, you know, it's all the same, starting with your large forms and working your way down. This style of hair, though, I just don't think it lends itself very well to, though. And we'll try to keep pushing it here. Pushing and pulling. And try to get some more variation. That's the word that we're looking for in a lot of these forms, a lot of these lengths and shapes, and get some different sizes. Play with all that. I don't know if you saw the tutorial for the MAG hairbrush that I released here recently. I think last week maybe. But that details another hair tube brush, and that's what I used to create these. And it was my first time like really using it on a character, and I think it definitely makes it easier for you to apply a lot of hair tubes quickly, but I think the offset there is that all of it is very uniform, and I mean, that's what you get for doing something through an automatic process. You get a lot of you know, it looks very digital, and now we're fighting our forms here in an attempt to reduce a lot of that, which isn't the end of the world, but Still takes a lot of work. Going for the Baroque style, and created some variations with ZModeler and the Move gizmo for twist and deformations. Very cool, very cool. Sounds like fun. Trying to avoid these looking so unnatural as well. Beautiful. We're getting a lot more, we're getting rid of a lot of that uniformity on the other side, I think a little bit better than on this side. You can still see a lot of those straight strokes, but we're getting there. Trying to break up some of the shape. We'll be doing that on the other side as well. Hopefully better. Also trying to add some variation in colors to these, just to make it break up a little bit, even more so in that regard. Just need to slow things down and kind of make some good decisions here. Let's see, always love good ZBrushers. Not a ZBrush person myself. Hopefully one day I can break away from client work and give it a try. Keep doing what you're doing, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate that. Welcome, welcome to the stream. And as you can see, well, we don't have many people in here yet, but there's people on YouTube and Twitch, so if you're over on Twitch and you're feeling lonely, you can always come join us on the YouTube as well. The YouTubes. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. can just see in here how that's all flowing the same way. Again, if we can break up a little bit of that form, that flow, I think that's going to help out. I don't know why our ZModeler brush just changed. Ah, I must have. Let's see here. Mesh to brush. We don't want that. Do nothing. So with ZModeler brush, you can set different actions for when you hover over edges, polys, and vertices. So with that, you want to make sure that if you're only working with like one thing, like I'm only working with edges right now for the ZModeler brush to create some creasing, it's just a better idea to turn off those other functions completely. So set them to do nothing, essentially. Hey Katie, welcome to the stream. Life's good. Life's busy. How you doing? Life right now is too uniform. Hence, trying to break up some shapes here. And by life, I mean this beard. Getting a lot of good layering going on here. Try to continue this theme. I honestly probably could have started with like a buck or something underneath this and then built these smaller strands and layered those on top in varying shapes. But you know, trying a new method, I think it's important. I think it's important to try stuff, especially when you find out that it doesn't work so well, or as well as you wanted for the way that you used it. Struggling to get back into my 3D work. Ooh, my throat. If you're being honest, any advice? Hang out on the stream and get to work on some stuff. What are you working on? I don't know if you have any specific project going on, but I'm sure you've seen the Sculpt January that's going on. I don't know if you're taking part in that. It's a good way to start 2018 right. Stay a little bit more focused and start building up a little bit of a habit. That's the one thing that I really like about the Sculpt January challenge, is I think it exists. You know, sure, it's cool to maybe win an into a medium tablet if that's what you're into. If you're doing it for that reason, all the more power to you. But I think the more important thing there is to build a really good habit of attempting to sculpt every day. And that's exactly, I mean, what it comes down to. It's just a habit. It's like going to your job or anything else. Or sleeping. You know, sleeping's a really easy habit for me. Most of the time. But yeah, I don't know. I think working on your projects and everything else, you gotta first have that habit there. And if you don't, I think, like I said, Sculpt 2018, Sculpt January 2018 or whatever it is a good way to do that. Make sure Z intensity is at 100 there. When you're using a curve brush, it'll flatten it if you adjust your Z intensity, which is not what we want, not right now. Art Anonymous, by the way, what made me think of this was your question there, Katie. Art Anonymous, the new episode is coming out tomorrow. And I can't remember if we talk about it in this next episode or if it was in a previous episode. But we talk about, you know, that idea of like, what do you do when you just don't want to work on your stuff or anything like that, if you don't really have like a sculpt everyday habit, which isn't a big deal, I don't think. But sometimes you just need to take a break and build up that desire to want to work on your stuff even more. What I find is that the more I work on a project, the more I want to work on that project. From my experience, at least. Like this guy here. The past few days I've been like, man, I just want to like fix all this shitty stuff that I keep doing. So that's what kind of drives me a lot of the time. Katie says, posted a link on the Discord group under the challenge section. Awesome. Currently trying to design a rapier soldier for my RPG game I'm working on. That sounds really neat. A rapier soldier. So, like your standard, like, military soldier, or, I don't know, I'm having trouble, like, when you say rapier soldier, I picture like an Edo era Japanese, like Japanese dude, not Edo era, like maybe like some World War I dude, like a rapier or something like that. Oh, Ryan, I personally like watching other creative streams while working right now, in fact. Yeah, which is what I suggested first. I think I said hang out with us and work on your stuff, and post some images of your dude that you're working on. Love to see him. Love to see what you're working on. I mean, the reason I stream, one of the main reasons that I stream, is that I get to share my work and share some of the stuff that I'm working on, and be able to maybe help out some people that have a lot of questions if they pop in here, or if they're just interested in seeing what I do and my workflow and stuff like that, which is always so for me, like when I started using ZBrush, there was nobody streaming in ZBrush. There weren't like that many video tutorials online and all that. And I don't know, I think it's nice to have at least somebody that you can just like pop in on and ask a quick question if you have one that's like pretty easy to knock out. Especially when you're in those early stages and ZBrush is kind of kicking your butt, which I think we all remember those days quite unfondly, I would say. And I don't think unfondly is a word, but it is today. It is right now. So we really started to kind of break up that form a lot better on that side as compared to the other. You can see how there's a lot of uniformity and how straight these pieces are. If I turn on polyframe, it maybe even makes it a little easier to tell. Over here, you know, we've got a whole mess of S-curves and everything else going on. And I think that's helping a lot to really break that up. If we can continue that onto the other side as well, I think that's gonna be great, as well as maybe getting a few more in the flow here, because there's just a few awkward ones that I kind of quickly threw on there earlier, just testing some stuff out. So if we can continue to build that up, I think we're gonna be in a lot better shape. Been playing around with with your new Oculus Rift. That sounds awesome. It sounds like a lot of fun. Not really helping me productive-wise, but I found a sculpting program that's fun. Oh gosh, Oculus Medium, I think that's the only one that's any good, anyways, from what I've seen. It looks pretty cool. It looks like a lot of fun to play around with. I've played with the HTC Vive a few times and had a lot of fun. It's been a while since I've done that, and I know that the Oculus Rift has come a long way, and I know it now has controllers, and it's kind of copied the Vive a little bit. I don't know how well that works compared to the Vive, but I had a ton of fun just playing with the Vive at my buddy's house, and getting to play with, what's it called? It's like the Google Paint app where you can paint in 3D. But yes, sculpting in VR does sound like a lot of fun. But hey, that sounds like that doesn't sound like slacking off if you're playing around in Oculus Medium or whatever it's called. That sounds like a pretty cool way to spend some time and maybe get some sculpting practice in. But then there are some, you know, actual games on there. Maybe you gotta avoid those a little bit, but I don't know, like I said, sometimes you just gotta take a break and build up that desire to want to work on your projects again. Because at the end of the day, you always do what you want, right? Planning on implementing it into your workflow more. Really good for blocking out models and getting proportions correct. Not so great at fine detailing though. Yeah, from what I've seen, oh gosh, what's the guy's name who's been using it a lot on Instagram? Really famous sculptor, and I feel bad for forgetting his name right now. It's not Grassati. Now I feel bad. I won't look it up right now. But yeah, from what I've seen, it does seem like it'd be a pretty fun tool to play around with for blocking some stuff out. It does. I mean, obviously it's missing a lot of tools. I don't even think you have like a move brush in there really. But for just kind of blocking stuff out, like you said, like I did last night in the stream, doing some anatomy blockouts and stuff. And just like showing some tools and tricks for that. I think it would be pretty good for that and pretty fun to play with. I think I would probably prefer to just keep it all in one place here in ZBrush still. But if I had one, I would be playing with that thing whenever I find some extra time. Right now, my any and all free time go into some ZBrush, some study, and whatever else I can work in there, ZBrush wise. But yeah, trying to stay as busy as possible. But an Oculus Medium or an Oculus Rift with Medium would probably throw a wrench in the works. But it's still sculpting, right? So practice is practice. Trying to zoom out a little bit so that I can... Lots of zooming, lots of rotating, all the time. Trying to get that big picture view. So zoom in, work on some stuff, zoom out again. So let's try to carry some of these shapes that we're doing. I think we're doing a pretty good job of covering up a bunch of the uniformity and all that junk. So let's try to bring that more into the bottom there as well. Definitely looking a lot better than the other side. Definitely looking messy. Also trying to vary these colors a little bit more. I think I want to squish his face in, or move his hairline, or both. This distance feels way too long. We can deal with that later using T-pose mesh and try to scooch everything all at once. Might be a little weird with the beard though, because we got so many meshes going on. We're still pretty low though in the poly count. If we bring that up a little bit though, we can play with that later. That's what I wanted to do. Just kind of try to quickly add a few more of these in here and then adjust them after the fact. I'm so bad at using a mouse to select small things. Honestly, I need a new mouse. I loved this mouse when I first bought it, but now it's got like a lot of problems that are pretty annoying to deal with. Especially when I need precision in clicking, which is quite often. Alright. I think we've broken that up a lot better now. Can kind of take a look at the other side to get an idea of the... We can make our Antons kiss a little bit. This is what I do when no one's looking. So yeah, I think if we can bring this into the other side and a little bit more into the front and this flow and back here and on the head, a lot of this stuff, I think this will help a lot. Let's clear that. No more kissing Antons. And try to look at this a little bit smaller. Definitely looks more scruffy, more ragged. This looks all the same length, same size, very uniform. And even actually, now that I say that, if we can maybe inflate a couple of these just a tad. Cool, cool. And we'll push that one in a little bit there. A lot of work. A lot of work to vary that up. But I think it's worth it for sure. Got something on my monitor here. All right. Now, I could mirror partial coverage here since we've added so much, but I don't know if it's really worth doing. Let's come here, grab an old Anton real quick. We've also moved some stuff around with his face. We've also added a lot of information to his face and his clothes. But yeah, I think that looks a lot better. You can see some of those changes here. His face was looking a little too squashed, I thought, so I raised that up just a little bit, increasing that space between his nose, his cheekbones, and kind of stretching that up. We've also worked on his face a lot in other aspects as well. Alright, let's keep working on this hair. I'm just gonna come through and delete all this. Trying to get rid of some of this as well. Tried to cover that up a little bit. Did a pretty shit job though. Try to make it better. If you're trying to delete a curve, you have to, when you tap on your mesh, you have to make sure that you have a curve brush selected. So another important thing. You can also delete it in your curve palette pretty easily under curve functions. Whew. you're getting too much resolution in your curves for whatever curve brush you're using, you can come into curve step and increase that a little bit, and that'll help with not having so many edge loops there, which I have a little bit too many. Try to cut that in half.
Looks pretty awkward, I think, for those to end at the exact same place. So try to avoid that. Really just trying to look at these as individual segments and kind of figure out where each one needs to go. No exact formula, but I am trying to add, with the main goal of adding variation here as much as I can.
Going to get back into daily sculpts. Help you get back into the flow of things. Just sculpt any characters that pop into my head and see where they go. It's not a bad idea. I'm not a huge fan of just trying to... Well, actually, for a while there I did like a daily sculpt challenge like a long time ago. I did like 100 different sculpts in 100 days. And that definitely got me working. And then after that, I really wanted to get into some longer term projects. So, worked for me. I would just like, today I'm gonna look up a Powerpuff Girl or a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle character or whatever the hell. And then just spend that day working on that. Just spend a few hours sketching some stuff out, doing some rough sculpts, working on that. I think working on quantity over quality for a while can really get you in a good place to where you want to start slowing down some stuff, and instead of focusing more on those lots of individual stuff, you start wanting to work on something for a longer amount of time. EP, what's going on? Glad to have you back. Sorry I'm not talking too much tonight, guys. I'm trying to use my tiny walnut brain to interpret some stuff here. Really figure out where I want to put these forms. Crash. Nope. Wow. That was lucky. Ooh, but we did duplicate our mesh. Good job, ZBrush. Sometimes when you make a stroke right when it goes to quick save, I shouldn't say sometimes, a lot of the time when you do that, ZBrush freaks out and crashes on you. It's like creating the stroke while it was quick saving. It was very odd. But back to what you were saying about doing the just quick little daily sculpts. It's also a good way to figure out what you most enjoy working on. And I'm sure if you do that for a little bit, if you go back and look over some of those sculpts over a little bit of time, you'll definitely see some improvement as well, which is always really nice to help get you in that mood as well. How many ZBrushes? All of the ZBrushes. How many ZBrushes? Like, at least 4. Sounds like a duck in this song. But I like it. Speaking of VR earlier, since you were talking about it, Katie, if you're still around, there's like this duck hunt game that's pretty cool, and it's like actually a horror game. It looks pretty sweet from what I've seen. I don't know if it's free or what, but I don't think it's free. But it looks really cool. I don't know if you've played that one. I don't think there's very many VR games, or at least good ones, so you probably know a fair bit of them, I would assume. Trying to just start off by finding more places to add variation, but down here I think we're just going to end up covering most of that stuff up. Let's try to cheat and save some work. Save us from doing a lot of extra work. Try to find some of these that we can reuse. Because I don't want to redo everything. You have looked into Duck Hunt. I just picked up a military shooter game called Onward and grabbed Tilt Brush. Tilt Brush, that was the thing that I was thinking of earlier. I thought that was made by Google. Is it off the top of my head? Maybe not. I cannot remember. It looks pretty sweet. And I've had fun playing with it in the past. Been playing a lot of VR chat. I've been laughing at a lot of funny VR chat videos on YouTube lately. I've been seeing a bunch of them pop up. They're pretty funny. Some good stuff. I think you can play VR chat actually without a VR headset, and I might just try that once, just to, you know, try to get the full, or not the full experience, but try to get at least some of the experience and just actually play it. Looks like fun. People go pretty crazy from what I've seen. Get some really funny content. For VR chat, can you upload your own 3D models into that? Can you like add your own content? I don't know exactly how that works. It seems like you might have the ability to do that. I'm not entirely sure. So I think we can reuse some of these. And turn off the super loud, annoying, repetitive song that keeps popping up. You can play it on desktop mode. I am planning on using it as a focus point for my work because you can upload via the Unity API as long as you use a VRChat account instead of via Steam. So you can upload your own 3D models on there. That's pretty fun. That sounds really cool. I've seen some really funny 3D models on there. I saw there was like this what was it? It was like Ugandan Knuckles, I think. I can't remember. This model and the Sonic model are so funny. I've seen a bunch of stuff on there. How many models do you have? I don't know if you're talking to me or... do you have a poly... Oh, you have a poly limit of 19K? You can do a lot with 19,000. I don't know if it's 19,000 tries, but you can do a lot with that. I assume you just like upload an FBX file or something so you can get animations, or do they like? Do you have to like fit I don't know if they like. I can't remember the app. It like auto rigs and animates your models on the web, but I don't know if it's similar to that. How many models do I have? Oh god, I have no idea. A lot. A lot of garbage. A lot of poo. But yeah, I have a bunch of stuff. I have just folders and folders of old work. You could do a stream updating all of your old unfinished work. Just a suggestion. Yeah. Be cool to pull out some old stuff and rework it. But I mean, like I said, I got a lot of unfinished work, so a lot of old stuff. We'd have to dig for a while, find something we actually want to rework or finish. let's find a new playlist. Let's try Ambient. Hero of the Winds by Pop Sky. I've liked a lot of Pop Sky's stuff on here. Try that out. Let's see here. A couple notifications. We'll check those in a sec. I don't know if anybody's sharing work there or what, and wants me to check it out, but if so, let me know. So many colors on the back of his head. I love it. It's beautiful. Beautiful array. Beautiful array of puke and liver spots. Symmetrical puke and liver spots, of course. Yeah, I really want to adjust that distance. The more I look at it, the more it really bothers me. Try to straighten that out a bit. Oh, we accidentally changed our smooth brush. So shift, actually, if you guys don't know, shift isn't your smooth brush, it's just your alternate brush. So if you hold shift, it goes to any other brush you want. So if you don't use shift or if you don't use the smooth brush very often, you can change that to something else. So maybe while you're working on something, you use that trim brush for smoothing, maybe a little bit more, so you could change your shift to that and use that instead. I think for the most part, everybody keeps it as smooth. I don't think I've ever seen anyone who keeps it kind of changed all the time. One second here. I check something. Ah, now we're good. Okay, keep adjusting here. Keep adding some adjustments. Yes, absolutely. Don't forget to join the ZBrush Discord group. Tons of amazing people on there that'll help you out if you guys got questions or anything like that. And it is a great place to get your work critiqued and help improve. Yeah, absolutely. Join the community, guys. For anybody that's jumping in here watching on Picardo or Twitch, wherever you're watching. If you go over to my YouTube channel, it's probably the easiest way. Click on the About section, and there's a link there to join if you're interested in joining a cool group of ZBrushers and artists from all over. Let's see here. How many people we got in the channel now? There are currently 1,200, over 1,200 people. Holy schmauzow. Not all active all the time, that would be so hectic, thankfully. But yeah, great group of people. And if you're looking for a place to, again, show your work like Katie said, or just talk with like-minded people that are kind of doing the same thing you are. And if you don't know what Discord is, it's just kind of a little group chat program that you can download or use in your browser. I think most people use the desktop version. It's kind of the thing that replaced not Steam, but Skype. Thankfully, because I freaking hate Skype. Skype has always been a plague on this earth. And now we actually, and like the Steam chat and all that, finally we have something that works consistent and works really well. And it's free, which is mind-boggling that such an amazing tool exists for free. There's a lot of stuff like that that I think we take for granted a lot of the time. For instance, Google Maps. Can you believe if you had to pay for your mapping programs? All the millennials would be lost. Those stupid millennials, which I happen to be one of. I'd be lost all the time. Mysterious! Welcome back, dude. Glad to have you back on the stream. You say, ooh. Ooh, join that ZBrush Discord. Ooh. For sure. Going to bed. If you need help with VR chat, you can message me on Discord as long as I'm awake. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Enjoy your sleepy time. I'll have to try VR chat sometime for sure. Sounds like a lot of fun. Especially from the videos I've seen.
Give them a satisfaction they couldn't get any other way.
Alright, try to add, continue adding more variation here. I know this is probably very boring, but this is work that I need to do if I want to take this hair to the next level and keep it from looking so uniform, much like what we have going on back there. Trying to get some breakup, make it look more scraggly. A lot of variation in here and curve, and try to get a little bit more in size as well as I continue to mess with stuff. All in good time. What I was thinking we could do, if people are interested, is essentially, so I'm doing morning and night streams right now. Instead of always streaming in the morning and night on one thing, try to break it up a little bit more, and maybe in the mornings or the evenings I can work on, you know, a character that I'm working on, and then during the other stream I can maybe do some anatomy studies or something like that to kind of break it up and make it have a little bit more variation, because we all know that 3D takes a very long time to do, and a big commitment of time for sure. So if we can maybe split that up, break it up into different subjects a little bit. So I have an idea for a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it a challenge, but just to get some practice here that I'm gonna start in a little bit. I want to wait till I'm done working on a couple projects, but I'll have more info on that here soon, on exactly what that'll look like. So that'll involve some anatomy studies, and hopefully getting a few people in the community to kind of participate and try to do something either every day or try to do a new anatomy study every week, just to try to get some people sculpting and participating and growing and learning. And I think it's really motivating to help you get to work when you see other people kind of all participating in the same thing. I think that's why a lot of art challenges see a lot of participation, and typically people grow a lot from those as well, artistically speaking. So I think not necessarily thinking of it as a challenge, but a challenge for yourself maybe to kind of participate in these. But I'll have more info on those later and what we can do with that. But until then, we'll keep working on Chaboy Anton and a few other things. We've done a lot of work to the face in the past few streams, which is great. I would like to do some more stuff with painting, and again, we painted the eyes in the last stream, so if you guys are interested in that and how I did that. We also played with the eyebrows, did some fiber mesh stuff, just to kind of experiment and see what we could come up with and what we could accomplish in a short amount of time, and for those who have never used fiber mesh before. But those kind of little things like that to, again, break up the monotony, I think is good, and including that in some streams might be happening more in the future. So again, if that's something that sounds interesting to you, let me know, either in the chat or in the comments if you're watching later down the road and not watching live. And for those that are watching live, the ones that are kind of just popping in here, if you do miss anything on the stream, don't feel bad. You can always check out anything you miss on my YouTube channel, where it's all uploaded there. So if you miss anything, no worries. Or if you hear me talking about a previous stream, that's where you can find it. So like the eye painting stuff just happened in the last stream. Or I'm sorry, was it the morning stream? I can't remember if it was our last morning stream or our last night stream. One of those two, it's labeled as such as eye painting, so it shouldn't be too hard to find if that's something that interests you. More layers, he says. We need more layers, Captain. We've been working on this hair for quite a while, trying to vary it up. I was doing a little bit before I jumped on stream, and now we've been doing this for a couple hours now. Just trying to be smart about how we do this. Trying to think about the curve of the different forms and also the colors as I apply those, which I have not been adjusting too frequently now that I've been kind of focusing more on the form here. So if I can vary that up a little bit more, I think that would be for the best. Just do a quick BPR render. Take a look at some stuff here. Definitely see where we've done a better job, and as we start to get in here, there's some really harsh shadows. I just want to see what some of this is looking like with some nice shadows real quick. I'll just take a second to bump up some of this. Sure, that was supposed to be 40, but that's fine. Something like that, and I'll just adjust the light. Do something like that. It'll take a few seconds to render here, but I just want to see what some of this is starting to look like with a quick render. I just have a basic material on the face for the skin right now, and then just skin shade 4 for everything else. Except for the eyes, which are toy plastic. For a lot of this kind of stuff, like, oh, I don't have the buttons on or anything, that's fine though. But yeah, there we go, we get a little bit softer shadows with that. We can kind of see what that's starting to look like on the face. And one thing that we like to do is throw our images in Photoshop. And I'm not looking for like major changes to the form to make right now, but this is what I would do if I was doing that, like proportional changes, especially early on. But just to kind of see your work from a little bit of a different perspective. It's very helpful to kind of flip your image around and do this. But then you just want to rotate around it. You're like, oh, I want to rotate around my model now that it's backwards. But we'll play around with our hair a little bit more here in the front, our beard, and then I'll probably call it quitsies for tonight. And we can stream some more in the morning for our morning stream. Maybe some more hair work in the morning, or if there's something a little bit more interesting and varying that we can do, like I said, if we want to play with splitting some stuff up. I said that we would do some anatomy stuff, some challenge kind of deals a little bit in the future, not quite right now. I have a big project coming down the pipeline that I'm really excited about, that I've been working with a guy for a while now, trying to get some concepts that I can actually work off of, or a concept. We've been kind of working back and forth for a little while now, and I'll have some more info on that later once that gets closer to completion. But that should be pretty soon, and I'm hoping to I don't know if you guys are familiar, so ArtStation right now has the Beneath the Waves challenge going on. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Let me open up the browser real quick. ArtStation, if you go to artstation.com, check out the challenges. Where are they? There. So Beneath the Waves is the current challenge going on right now, and then ZBrush, not .com, I don't think. This might not be the right one. It's changed. It's fine. Actually, let's just do Art War 2. So ZBrush, Mark Bernay, he's the guy that runs this site. Him and a few others put on the first Art War challenge last year, and now it's going on again. So this is another big challenge that's happening right now. I don't know what the hell happened. I checked this. Whoops. I checked this earlier today, and it said that there were. It said that there were 33 days left or 34 days left. So they've added like 20 days to the counter, or I think 22. I believe this was like February 4th originally. I wonder if there's like a note about them changing the date anywhere. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm very glad and happy that they changed the date there. They might have announced it. No, they announced the winner of a different challenge. Huh. Well, I'll have to look into that either way. So it's pretty cool if they did push back the deadline there. Trying to get some more people into the challenge probably. So Art War 2, that's going on, and I'm hoping to participate in that if some things speed up on another project, like I said. And then Beneath the Waves, if you guys know about that's going on right now as well. I'm not sure when the exact deadline is for the, there we go, the 5th of February. So you still got some time to apply and play around with that if that's something that interests you as well. Either way. Art War, the current theme is light versus dark, which is pretty ambiguous, I think. I think that could go a lot of ways, but obviously trying to make that theme very obvious in your character is going to help you help your character stand out more to the judges. They look for that kind of thing. At least that's what they said on the challenge there. But yeah, let's continue to look at Anton, and hope that. Ooh, we don't want to do that. Give this that back. Hope that we can again try to vary up some stuff here on the stream soon, so that we're not always working on the same character. Since I do 2 streams a day, morning and night stream, I was thinking it would be fun to kind of break some stuff up. But if you guys have any ideas for stuff that you would like to see, I'm always looking for that. So if you guys have any ideas, please throw them up in the chat. Just puke them up. Expel them from your bodies. Or if you're watching later, just post it in the comments, and I'll check it out. Tomorrow, I'm super excited. 3rd episode of Art Anonymous is coming out, and I think it's the first one where we start answering some questions and some topics provided by the audience. So you guys. So I've mentioned in the past that if you guys have any ideas for topics or questions that you want us to talk about on Art Anonymous, then submit those in the comment section of those videos, or shoot me a message on social media, or Daryl, who is the other member of Art Anonymous. He is the traditional sculptor of the group. So it's a little bit of a podcast. It's uploaded here on my YouTube channel, where a traditional sculptor, Daryl, and a digital sculptor, me, talk about art, life, shitting in boxes, all sorts of fun stuff. But if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, be on the lookout for tomorrow's episode, episode 3. We're having a lot of fun working on that project. It's gonna keep changing, so while we're kind of experimenting with it and trying to figure out exactly what we want it to be, but we have fun with it, so we're probably not gonna stop making it anytime soon. But like I said, if that's something that's interesting to you, or interests you, check it out for sure. We would love to have some more AA members, which is what we're referring to our meetings as, our AA meetings, Art Anonymous. So if you're trying to get some help with that art addiction of yours, we might be able to help you out. Probably not, but at least that's what we say. Let's see here. Chris Poirier, secret sauce. If you guys are curious, I'm using a little app called Pretzel right now. It's just it's called app.pretzel.rocks. It's a little music player that you can use that plays all copyright-free music. And it's got a lot of really good music on it. And it's really cool. I'm a big fan of it. And I discovered it within the past week or so. And like I said, I'm a big fan. If that's something you guys are interested in, or if you guys ever want to know the name of a song, I think I can actually add it to the chat on, at least on Twitch. I don't know if I can pair it with Restream, which is the broadcasting service that I use right now. But if I can find out a way to do that, which I should look into, I think that would be pretty nice as well, just so you guys can see what's currently playing. A lot of the time, though, I'll skip around or choose a new playlist. But there's some really good music on there, like I said. Who needs copyrighted, paid music? Come on. I am all for paying artists for their work. But the music industry has gone bonkers. But I think it's honestly, I think it's pretty deserving how strict all that is. Just because of people don't make money off their music like they used to. Not a lot of record sales anymore. So I do think it is good in that regard. Because people are very deserving of getting paid for their work. Alright, let's see here. Alright guys, I'm going to continue to work on this hair later, not right now, but I think that's a pretty good place to cut while we've made a lot of progress on our hair tonight and just kind of adding some asymmetrical forms. We're moving a little bit slower now, so that's why we'll cut, and it's getting pretty late. So join me for the morning stream tomorrow, and like I said, maybe we can break up some stuff with some anatomy studies. We did like a quick little anatomy sketch, and I gave some tips on that in I think yesterday's night stream. But if that's something that interests you, check that out. And if you guys want to see some more stuff like that, come join me on tomorrow's morning stream, and hopefully we can do something a little bit different if enough people are around. If not, no worries. I got a lot of work I want to continue to do on this dude, and if this is something you guys want to continue to see as well, just let me know, because this is, I'll turn on everything here, this is what I'm going to be working on for probably, definitely at least the next week or so, and again, another big project coming down through the pipeline, like I said, talking with somebody else about some stuff, so hopefully I can get started on that as quickly as possible. Dark Cognitive, thank you for joining. Glad to have you with me on the stream. And thanks to everybody else who's watching everywhere else on the other channels. Thank you for Restream. Makes it really easy to get out to a lot of different networks, so a lot of people can see the stuff. Alright guys, well tomorrow morning stream, Eastern Standard Time, US, around 10 p.m. So if you guys are, or 10 a.m. sorry, if you guys are around for that, come check it out. And hope you guys have a great night or morning, wherever you guys are. I always say that. I always say great night or great day. but everybody's on so many different time zones. So wherever you are, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. All right, see you guys.